I feel like baseball players have some of the most interesting styling going on right now. Why the mustache?
I shaved it off, and it was like all my buddies and even my wife Chloe was like, "Hey, when are you gonna grow the mustache back?" And I was like, "Okay, so I guess we actually like the mustache."
Hashtag the stash.
Hashtag the stash.
Tyler Fay
strikes out the side. Fay feels like he's got all his pitches at his disposal right now.
Yeah, he's just absolutely mowing down the eye street.
1-2, got him, Hackett.
Swing and a miss, strike three.
Arguably the hottest pitcher on the planet right now. Fay is an out away from history.
I was born in Omaha, Nebraska. Live in a really small town. It's called Doniphan, Nebraska. There's like 800 people there. It's kind of just what you expect, like a small town Nebraska to be. Like I live pretty much in a cornfield. I feel like Nebraska, obviously the hot spot for college baseball. Kind of one of the reasons why I like baseball so much is just because I was in my backyard for so long. We're a really big sport family. My mom, she was into softball when she was younger and cheerleading, and my dad played like everything that I played pretty much. Ran track, played basketball, baseball, and then my brother and sister are both pretty athletic too. We were always just playing some sport throughout the seasons. I feel like from probably my sophomore year on is when I kind of knew baseball was going to be the thing that I tried to stick with. I just enjoyed everything about baseball a lot more. I watched a lot of baseball. Like I'd try to study baseball and hope that I was a little better at it than the other sports. My sophomore, junior year of high school was kind of discouraging because I was still really skinny and little. I wasn't really throwing very hard, didn't have any college attention. And you look at a lot of guys at this level and they were already throwing mid-90s by then and getting like MLB scouts attention. I was throwing 84. But it's also been kind of a good thing for me because I feel like I've been able to learn how to deal with the adversity of like having to outwork people, and also my arm's probably a little fresher than some of the guys that have been throwing 95 for an extra 4 years.
When did you first start rising above kind of, other kids that were playing?
Yeah, I would say probably the summer after my junior year. My dad actually signed me up for like a travel ball thing out of Omaha. I was kind of nervous. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna make the team. Like, what if I'm not good enough, whatever. And then I went to that tryout, and I think I hit like 88 or 89 in a bullpen, which I think was the hardest I'd ever thrown at that time. And then that whole fall for me was just where everything started to turn around. Kind of like a 3-week span where all of a sudden I just became a lot better at pitching. Being from a small town in Nebraska and then going to this, like my travel ball team, it was kids from Nebraska, it was kids from Arkansas, Minnesota, and Iowa. Just like the level of baseball that I saw there is definitely eye-opening for me. I went to Jupiter, which is like the huge tournament in Florida, and I saw a game where there's probably like 200 scouts watching these two high school dudes throwing 95, and I was like, this is a lot different than what I've seen before. It was pretty cool.
You're not in Nebraska anymore.
Not in Nebraska anymore. My first offer, I think it was before my summer of junior year, it was Northeast Community College in Norfolk, Nebraska. I went and threw a bullpen for them and was getting like the whole tour of the campus and stuff, and I was like, man, this is sweet. Like I could play here next year. Like I really thought I was gonna go there. Southeast was the other JUCO. I went there and toured, and it was kind of the same thing. I was like, man, this place is pretty cool. Like I was like envisioning myself there, and then Bama called me, which once I came here, I was like, I mean, there's no shot I'm not going here. Like, it was insane. Everything about this place was just amazing, and so once I saw that, it was just game over.
How'd they lure you in?
They didn't really have to lure me in much. I remember we rode around on the golf cart and kind of stopped by, like, I think it was a couple different buildings. We went to like Bryant Hall or something and saw some classrooms and saw some of like the model dorms for where I would be living. And then, yeah, they brought me into the football indoor and showed me like all the trophies and all the cool stuff in there. They showed me the dining hall and brought me over to the field and showed me everything. And this place is amazing. This is the coolest thing ever. I remember I still was taking all the videos on my phone. Like everywhere I went, I was recording everything. Like it was pretty funny.
When you first got to Alabama, how did you perceive like where you were as to like how the program was?
Honestly, I kind of felt like I was behind everything. I was like really skinny still. I think I weighed like 180 pounds coming in here, and wasn't really throwing very hard. There's some guys on the team that had draft attention out of high school, and they were coming in throwing mid-90s and hitting home runs and stuff, and I was like, crap, like I'm still maybe touching 90, 91. My freshman year, I had surgery on my elbow and then kind of struggled a little bit that year. I didn't throw it all in games. I was gray shirted.
What was it like transitioning to collegiate gameplay?
I remember my first game, it was Manhattan. It was opening weekend of my second year here, and I was like freaking out. I didn't know when I'd pitch. I think I threw on the Sunday game, so it was like the whole weekend I was waiting to throw. I was like, am I gonna go in? Like, I had a really good fall, really good preseason, so I expected to throw. It was like the 5th inning or something on the Sunday game where I finally got the call to go in, and my adrenaline was going crazy. Like, I didn't know what was even going on. I think I went in, bases loaded, no one out for my first ever college outing.
A lanky right-hander at the belt. Now the pitch. Caught the inside corner, boy.
The first guy that I faced hit like a chopper to third. Our third baseman bobbled it, made an error on it, and I was like, oh no. And I think I hit the next 2 guys or something.
And a breaking ball that didn't.
I pulled the fastball up and in, hit a lefty in the head. I was like, I don't even know how you do that. That's like kind of hard to throw a ball that way, that high.
And a swing and a miss.
Yeah, it was a lot of adrenaline going on. My velo was like 87 to 95. I was in a blender.
Now the pitch. Right down the middle with a fastball, and caught Hansen looking.
I think my final stat line was like 3 hit batters, 3 strikeouts, it was rough.
Great job by Tyler Fay. After a bit of a rocky start, he managed to get it together and then wound up with 2 big strikeouts to end the Manhattan threat.
My redshirt freshman year, the first year playing, it was really up and down.
19 driven in, and this one's lashed out into right field, and that will drop for a base hit.
And it was 5-4 Bama. Now it's 5-5.
I was the first guy out of the bullpen for a while, and it was really good. And then there was like a probably month-long stretch where I don't think I even got an out.
Lopez down the line. It'll be extra bases. And a challenge here for the freshman out of the pen with his team down by 2, Todd.
Payoff pitch again. This is high, ball 4.
I'd come in and walk 2 guys and give up a homer or whatever, and then it was just like, man, like it was really tough. It was just performance up and down and kind of riding that roller coaster.
What did it feel like when you started seeing your pitches get faster and faster, and when you started seeing the results of this progress? Like, how did that feel for you?
I remember it was my second year here against Auburn in like the exhibition game we do in the fall. I went in out of the bullpen, and like everyone just throws an inning. It's kind of like a scheduled game that way. And I think I was like 92, 95, and everything was just really working. And I came in the dugout after, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I hit 95. Like, it was like the coolest thing ever. And I think that gave me a lot of belief in myself too, and that just kind of like built on the confidence that I've been working on. Every time you throw like a little bit harder, hit a new number, it's like, that's awesome. I feel like the nutrition, the strength and conditioning, that's played a huge role in my success, because I think I've put on like 40 pounds since I got here almost, and just feel like I move a lot better, I'm a lot stronger. The weight room has helped me a ton, dining halls helped me a ton. And then just the coaches trusting me in the big spots. I think I was like the first guy out of the bullpen in every big spot for a while. And as a freshman, that was kind of like, wow, they really trust me in this spot. Like, normally that's a spot for a 5th-year guy to come in, and guy who's been there, and seeing that the coaches believed in me kind of gave me some confidence too. And then obviously when you go in there and do well a couple times, then like you feel like you're the man. So yeah, it was just kind of a lot of fun to know if the game's tight, like I was gonna be the guy going in. And that gave me a lot of confidence in myself, a lot of belief that I could go out there and do it. The mound's such like it's like a spotlight type of place. And I think that helps me just be locked in more. And like back in high school when I played shortstop, I was always hoping that they didn't hit it to me so I didn't make an error. But now it's kind of like flipped where I want to be a part of everything and I want to be in the big moment. Just getting the starting role was pretty cool too, because that was kind of something that I'd always dreamed about. Like a Friday night starter in the SEC, that was always my goal. And like the first day that I heard I was starting last year, it was like, holy crap, like I'm starting, what? Like, so that was really exciting. But my parents are here almost every weekend. I always have to ask my mom who's coming so I can get tickets every weekend for them. But yeah, it's always a big crowd here to support me, which is pretty cool.
So you said you're married.
I am, yep.
Tell me about that a little bit.
Yeah, we just got married January of this year. It's been awesome, it's been really good, just kind of having her here, and the long distance stuff was hard, so being able to just come home to her every day has been like a really big blessing. I feel like that's definitely been a huge thing, because my first year of playing here, I'd have a bad outing and then I'd just go home and just sit in it for 2 days, and now I go home and she's always really positive about everything. Obviously, like she thinks I'm good even when I'm not, so having that like comfort and that confidence coming from her is really good. I feel like that is probably like a reason that I'm able to bounce back from rougher outings a little bit better than I used to be.
So what has your biggest accomplishment been at Alabama?
I would probably say the no-hitter against Florida.
Friday night baseball in the SEC for the first time this season at Sewell Thomas Stadium. Tyler Fay's got his hands full with this Florida lineup.
Pre-game, I didn't really feel the best. Felt like I was kind of moving slow in the bullpen, and went out for the first inning, and I was really like locating the fastball.
Fastball down the chute at 94.
And I was like, okay, like maybe I'll be able to throw pretty well today.
Got to be economical with his pitches. How deep in this game can Tyler Fay go?
First couple innings just kind of kept going
Strike one.
well, but I didn't really think anything of it at that point.
Ground ball to short. Justin LeBron's first chance defensively today. Retires the side.
Tyler Fay has been in command with all three of his pitches.
The fifth inning is when I first started to notice that I hadn't given up any hits at that point.
Giving himself a shot to go late into this game for Alabama.
After the seventh inning, when I was at like 100 pitches, I was like, all right, like this is probably my last guy here. Empty the tank on this dude.
That's over the outside black. Have yourself a day, Tyler Fay. A masterclass through 7 no-hit innings.
I came in and JJ's like, how you feeling? I'm like, good. Like, am I gonna stay in? Like, what are we doing here?
Alabama coming back to the plate with a 6-0 lead.
He didn't say anything else to me, so I was like, I guess I'm going back out.
Tyler Fay shutting the door to keep it where it is, 6-0 tied.
After the 8th inning, I realized that it's like a no-hitter. Like, this is pretty insane. I was like, I'm not coming out now.
What are your superstitions?
My biggest one is just kind of sitting in the same spot in the dugout. Every time I come in, like I take my hat off and my glove and put it in the same spot, sit in the same spot. And it's kind of funny, sometimes I'll be in there like moving other people's stuff around so I can get to my spot. And I just like sit there, like, but yeah, then like whenever the first out's made, when we're hitting, I put my hat back on, second out, put my glove on, get up, start moving around.
Fowler fans, couple strikeouts in relief to start the 8th.
It's kind of just like a little routine that I try to build to stay locked in.
If there's any question as to who's going to get the ball come the 9th inning.
It looks like somebody you're going to have to wrestle to take the ball out of his hand.
Going out for the 9th was definitely nerve-wracking.
Alabama is flirting with history that hasn't been seen since World War II.
I went out for that inning and I was like, all right, like I can't mess this up here. Like I would be really mad if I went out and 125 pitches in, give up a hit. So I was just like really focused and trying to have like an extra level of confidence.
1-2. Got him swinging.
They're not hitting anything. Like I have to send my best stuff. I feel like when the intent is there and like when I really know in my heart that the guy's not gonna hit it, they almost never hit it.
Malzone climbs the ladder and comes up empty. Fay is an out away from history. How about this for primetime TV? Arguably the 2027 top Major League Baseball prospect against Tyler Fay.
The last pitch that I made, it was a little cutter chase I heard in my ear, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna bury this back foot, like I'm gonna strike him out, and then right when I let go of it, it just kind of spun out of my hand, and I was like, oh no, like it was right down the middle.
Line the other way, left field.
It felt like a long time in my head from when that ball left my hand.
Justin Osterhaus is there for the first time in 30,647 days. A solo no-hitter has just been authored, and this belongs to Tyler Fay.
Like, just being able to accomplish that has given me all the confidence that I'll ever need. Even outings that I don't throw as well, like results-wise, I feel like I still have that level of belief in myself every time I go out there. And I think that's just been building over my time here. And to kind of have an outing like that that proves that I can actually compete at the highest level of what I want to do is really big for me.
How was the response from your team?
They were all like just going crazy. It was like a team accomplishment for us, honestly, and like everyone kind of shared the success with each other.
What are your goals for baseball beyond Alabama?
I want to get drafted after this year and work my way up to the big leagues eventually. Being a starter in the big leagues has been my dream forever, so I think that's kind of my biggest goal, is to kind of be an established name in the big leagues.
What would be a piece of advice that you would give to somebody who maybe is not sure if they're ever going to be at the level that they want to?
I think the biggest thing for me was just to try not to get discouraged through different things, like always having that belief in yourself. Like, my dad was a huge believer in me too, so having people around you that believe in you help. Yeah, just trying to work and not compare yourself to other people. Like, I was way behind all the kids at that time, and now a lot of them aren't playing baseball anymore, so I think it's kind of like everyone has their own timing of everything, and just to trust in the work that you're putting in. That's kind of the biggest thing for me. My name's Tyler Fay, and this was my origin story.